Serious. Two men, same job, same paycheck. One dies rich, the other dies still working. The difference was one decision, and they both made it on the very same Friday. Payday. Calm. One of them bought something that pays him every month for the rest of his life. The other bought something that would quietly drain him for the next 10 years. And here's the strange part. The one who got rich looked poorer for almost a decade. Serious. The rich don't buy what they can afford. They buy assets before they can afford them. That one sentence sounds backwards. By the end, it'll sound obvious, because the whole game of money hides inside one tiny difference most people never learn. Meet the two men. We'll call them Max and Ryan. Watch their money, not their words. Steady, same salary, same city, same rent. On payday, both had a little extra for the first time. Ryan did what feels normal. He upgraded. A newer car to finally look the part. Max did something that felt almost stupid. He bought a small, boring piece of an asset. Low one. Here's the only definition you need for the rest of your life. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. That's it. Ryan's car took money out every month. Payment, insurance, fuel, repairs. Max's little asset did the opposite. Every month it put a small trickle back in. At first the trickle was laughable, a few coins against Ryan's shiny new life. Serious. And this is exactly where almost everyone quits. The asset feels too small to matter, but keep your eyes on both pockets. One is filling, one is leaking. The rich just decided early which side of that line everything they buy must fall on. Steady. Now the part that confuses people. Max bought his asset before he felt ready. He didn't wait until he was rich. Buying assets is how he got rich. Ryan waited. First, I'll enjoy life a little, then I'll invest. That day never comes, because a bigger salary just buys a bigger lifestyle. The later keeps moving away. So Max flipped the order. Assets first, the lifestyle second, paid for by the assets. He bought the thing that pays him before he bought the thing that flatters him. It felt tight. It felt early. That discomfort is the actual price of getting rich. Ryan felt comfortable the whole way. Comfort was the trap. Serious. Remember that trickle Max started? Something quiet was already happening to it. Max's first asset paid him a little. He didn't spend that little. He bought another tiny asset with it. Now two assets were paying him, so the next one came faster. Calm assets are the only thing that buys more of themselves. That's the secret engine. Money he never earned at his job started showing up anyway. While he slept, Ryan also had a system running. His debts were buying him more debts. The car loan made money tight, so the next gap got filled with a card. Ir loco. Both men built a machine. One machine fed him. The other machine ate him. And nobody around them could see it yet. On the surface, Ryan was winning. Serious year 3. Ryan looked successful. New watch, new car, loud vacations. Max looked ordinary. Same jacket, same phone. A man with a quiet secret. Here's what nobody tells you. Looking rich and being rich are opposite strategies. Looking rich means buying liabilities that scream. Being rich means buying assets that whisper. Gyakiko Loat. Every time Ryan bought status, he paid twice. Once in cash, once in the income that cash could have become. That watch didn't cost him a watch. It cost him the small asset it could have been forever. Serious. The loudest spenders are almost never the rich. They're the ones performing rich. And the audience they perform for? People who don't actually care. Max stopped playing that game early. He had nothing to prove and everything to keep. But a storm was coming that would tell the two men apart for good. Steady year 5, a hard year. The economy tightened. Both men got scared. Ryan's whole life ran on his salary. One missed paycheck and everything cracked. His assets, the car, the gadgets, were worth half and still owed money. Libera. A liability betrays you exactly when you need it most. It has no loyalty. Max was scared too, but his little army of assets kept paying. storm or no storm. That quiet income didn't care about the news. It just kept showing up. Serious. This is the real reason to buy assets before you can afford to. Not for the good years, for the bad ones. Assets are what stand between you and a single bad month. Ryan survived the year, but it taught him nothing. He rebuilt the exact same machine. Max used the fear differently. He went shopping for more assets while they were cheap. Calm year 10. Something crossed over that changed everything, silently. Max's assets now paid him more each month than a full day at his job. For the first time, his money out-earned his hands. He didn't have to be there anymore. Serious. That moment has a name, the crossover point, when your assets pass your salary. Before it, you work for money. After it, money works for you. Everything is that line. Ryan reached a different milestone the same year. His minimum payments passed his savings. Iloma. Both crossed a line. Max crossed into freedom. Ryan crossed into a cage with a nice paint job. And the wildest part, for years they had looked like the same man. Steady. You might be wondering what Max was actually buying all those years. Not one magic thing. A boring ladder of ordinary ones. Small pieces of businesses that pay a share of their profit. Money lent out that returns with interest. A skill sharp enough that people paid him for it on the side. A tiny rented out corner of what he owned. ELO. None of it was exciting. Exciting is for the casino. Assets are supposed to be boring. What they had in common was one thing. Each one put money in without him lifting a hand. Serious Ryan chased the exciting version. The hot tip, the quick flip, the thing that would change everything. And exciting over and over is just a slower way to stay poor. Max never needed the home run. He just needed the boring thing. Repeated, protected, for years. So if it's this simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because it hurts in three ways. First, an asset is invisible. Nobody claps when you buy a boring one. A new car gets applause today. We are wired for the applause now, not the freedom later. Assets ask you to skip the applause. Second, an asset is slow. For years, it looks like nothing is happening. That silence breaks most people. Serious Ryan couldn't stand the silence. He needed to feel his money, so he spent it where he could see it. Third, buying assets means telling yourself the truth about what you actually own. Most people never add it up, because deep down they're afraid of the answer. Max did the uncomfortable thing early, so the comfortable life could come later. Kishirakus. Now step out of the story. Look at your own last payday. What did the extra money become? Something that pays you or something that costs you? Be honest about the car, the upgrade, the I earned this. Was it an asset or a mask? Lo. Most people, without noticing, spend their whole life on the Ryan side of that one line. Not because they're dumb, because nobody ever drew the line for them. You just watched it get drawn. That's the unfair advantage. You can't unsee it now. See Kiam. From today, one question sits in front of every purchase. In or out. Asset or liability. Steady. So this doesn't stay a nice story. Do 3 small things this week. 1. Write down what you own in 2 columns. Things that pay you, things that cost you. Just look at the truth. 2. This payday, buy one boring asset before you buy anything that flatters you, even a tiny one. 3. Take whatever that asset pays you, however small, and buy another. Start the engine. Elo. Not one of these needs a big salary. Max started with almost nothing but the order of his decisions. The order is the whole secret. Assets first, always assets first. Serious. Remember the 2 men from the start? Same job, same paycheck, opposite endings. Max is free now. His assets pay for a life he no longer has to clock in for. Ryan is still on the same Friday, 30 years later, waiting for a payday that owns him. Calm. The rich really do buy what they can't afford. Assets before the money feels ready. Start this Friday with one boring, invisible, unglamorous asset. In 30 years, you'll know which man you chose to be.